Katie, thank you. All right, I'm going to give you one moment here. Adjust your eyes. Take a look at your screen. It's just for perspective here. You got a fence. You've got a house there. This is a picture from Megan's Steed in Yulee, a backyard in our own backyard. And here you see a giant train of lights streaking across the night sky. Like, what the heck is this? It's unbelievable. Megan, wonderful picture. I know a lot of you saw this last night as well, got incredible video of it. Would be pretty easy to freak out over this considering what the Pentagon just released last week, video of a UFO. I mean, what next 2020? To answer the question about this though, if you haven't already heard, SpaceX CEO and certified genius Elon Musk is actually who did that. How do you make a constellation? He's the only guy on planet Earth with the trio of finances, desire, and know-how to create his own constellation of satellites. Look at that. These are satellites. It's called Starlink. It will eventually be hundreds, even thousands of internet satellites that SpaceX will launch and line up in formation. It's all to bring high-speed internet all over the planet.
Oh boy, about 9:30 tonight, the phone calls started coming in. Viewers from Nocatee to Jack's Beach to St. Augustine saying they saw a line of bright lights in the sky moving in a straight line. You can see the photos there from our viewers. Well, it's not little green men. It's the Starlink satellite system, providing internet access from low Earth orbit. Now, we've been covering SpaceX launches dating back to last May for when those satellites were launched onto rockets, and that's what everybody was seeing tonight.
Quite a few folks, given all the phone calls at Channel 4, saw the Starlink satellites being launched out the backside of the spacecraft that was launched from the Falcon 9 rocket. And you can see them here in this picture. I know it looks a little jumbly, but if you look, there's a line of lights going from left to right here. And these lights are all in a string because they are being released. There's like, I'm the satellite, the actual spacecraft that had all the little tiny satellites. And I just go flying along, I throw one out, I'll throw another out, I'll throw another out, and throw another out. And that's why we see these lights all in a string of pearls in the skies above us.
Well, hey, did you see the night sky light up over Central Florida?
News 6 got several calls right around 9 o'clock last night about the mysterious sighting. And Michael Seeley shot a video in Brevard County and shared it on Twitter. Now, the photographer for We Report Space says it's SpaceX's Starlink satellites. We also checked space websites that said that people would be able to see the satellites last night. So we asked SpaceX to confirm this. So far, we haven't heard back from them, but you know what? We will let you know. But you can see the ISS from time to time when things are lined up just right, too.
Night, the NBC2 News Facebook page had several viewers asking what these odd lights were that were in the sky, and several people described them in different ways. Vicky Gutman said they looked like a series of stars that were moving very strangely, very fast. Michael described it more as looking like about a series of 30 planes that were moving very high up in the atmosphere from where he was watching from. And then Kathy talked about it as being like a line of flying objects that was over top of where she was, and they all happened at about the same time, between 8 and 9 o'clock late last night. Now, this isn't actual video of what was seen over Cape Coral, but what you see here is the same phenomenon that was observed over Cape Coral, but back in Japan in 2019. Do you know what this is? Well, believe it or not, this is a series of satellites, a part of a big project by SpaceX that's called the Starlink satellite project. And what it is doing is it's a way that they're going to try and offer remote areas of planet Earth internet access, and they're going to utilize it by using these satellites that are going to be put on outer space. Now, there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of these satellites eventually, so they still have a ways to go before the project is up and running, but it really is awfully cool from time to time that you can see these links of satellites as they float overhead.
A lot of folks took to social media over the weekend to ask what was this strange line of lights in the sky that passed over the region. And it's not the first time we've had questions from y'all about this kind of formation. Almost a year ago, the same thing happened over the upper Midwest.
And maybe you looked up in the sky at midnight and you saw something strange. We actually got a dozen calls into the newsroom at midnight for a string of falling stars.
So what was it? It turns out it was a string of satellites launched last Wednesday by SpaceX as part of their Starlink satellite program. Right now, they're still clustered together at a lower altitude, but as they continue to rise up to their final destination, about 340 miles above the Earth's surface, they'll spread out and become less visible. Right now, SpaceX has launched just over 400 of these satellites, but hope to eventually have over 40,000 of them beaming back affordable internet access across the globe.
This is Raptor News. Are y'all buying that? It costs anywhere between $10 million to $400 million to launch a single satellite. They talking about launching 400 satellites up in space. They don't have that type of money for internet access in rural places, remote places, they say. That is insanity, and that is a big, huge lie. Secondly, satellites must be in constant orbit, it says, orbiting the Earth at high velocities in order to keep themselves from falling back to the ground due to Earth's gravity. But these satellites will appear to be stationary in the exact same spot overhead, but they are still orbiting, moving. So they will appear to be like stars. What we are seeing is moving at pretty much high velocity. Is it SpaceX or X ODUS? This is Raptor News.